I just had to come on here and talk about kind of why I live the way I live. Um, Basically, for the most part, I became a minimalist. And the reason why I did that was I realized that I don't need a lot of stuff. Okay. I really don't need a lot of stuff. None of us do. Like, most people have clothes, shoes that they have never even worn. I had a bunch of clothes and shoes I bought and I never even wore. Okay. Now I do own a lot of tools because I'm a contractor. So that's one of the things I have a lot of is a lot of tools. But and I do have a lot of clothes only because or what I would consider a lot of clothes. It's not really a lot of clothes, but I might have like 20, 30 pairs of jeans and t-shirts and stuff like that. But that's because I have different homes, right? So I have my clothes in different homes. Now, if I had just one home, I'd probably have like 5 pairs of jeans or pants, 5 pairs of shirt, 5 underwear, or seven, I should say, one for every day of the week. Um, and that's pretty much how I would live. You know what I mean? I tell you guys, I shop at thrift stores and bin stores, so the stuff I do have, I don't even pay that much for it, right? But what I really wanted to talk about was being a minimalist, but also being smart about it. Also being a capitalist. Like I like that guy's show. I forgot his name. Capitalist, capitalist, Nomad capitalist. Okay, and he's basically a minimalist, but he's a capitalist. Okay, what that means is we spend our money on assets. We spend our money on assets, and you guys know the number one asset I promote for the simple fact that if you ask Robert Kiyosaki what he's buying, he'll tell you he's buying anything they cannot print more of. Okay, he's buying anything they cannot print more of. Why would you buy something that somebody could print even a copy of it? Even the it's not the original, so the original is worth more than a copy, but nevertheless, they could print a copy of it, which still downplays the original. Okay, so I don't buy artwork. Um, I'm not talking against buying artwork, but I don't buy artwork. I do believe you do need to preserve artwork, but it's just not my thing. Okay, at this point in my life, maybe in the future, but I strongly believe everybody needs to start off buying the one thing that, or investing in the one thing that you cannot, they cannot print it. They cannot print more land. Okay. They can print the house on the land, which they're literally printing houses. You can print anything, but you cannot print more land. Okay. Um, I don't have any worries about like, oh, I got 30 houses and I got to fix 50 toilets at any random time or 5 toilets at any random time. I got to worry about keeping up with insurance on 30 something properties. When you have land, you really don't need insurance because it's land. Okay. Once you put up your no trespassing signs, nobody should be on your land. So nobody should be talking about, oh, they was walking across your land and they slip and fell and they're going to sue you. Okay. You pretty much just have to pay your taxes every year and that's it. All right. Um, I I rather live in an RV. I rather live in an RV, a cabin, a tiny home, anything like that. Why? The bigger the house is the more you fill it with stuff. Is the more you fill it with stuff and junk that you never use or anything like that. All right. Um, there's no reason for one person to me to own 5 cars, 6 cars, unless that's your business or something like that. Now I have a few vehicles, but that's only because a few automobiles. That's only because, again, I'm a contractor. What I do depends on transportation, so I have to have a few trucks. Okay, so that's my excuse. But honestly, if I was not in this business, I would only have one automobile, or probably none. Okay, so dang, the power went off over there. I gotta see what happened. Or see if the plug came out the wall, or it's just so what you got to do is basically, the plug came out. Let me see if the breaker trip. What you got to do is basically, to me, live your life in a way that if all else fails, you cannot. I'll fix it. It might be that thing on the bottom. If all else fails, you are not in a situation that um you have to pay insurance on a bunch of things that you don't need. Hang on. Breaker trip. Which breaker? You know, because if you have, the more stuff you have, the more insurance you have to have. Okay. To me, you have to live your life in a way that if you die, when you die, your loved ones don't have a whole bunch of junk that they have to figure out how to sell. Okay. When I pass away, my offsprings, my loved ones will pretty much just have land. It's not going to be a whole bunch of headache to maintain it or anything like that. As long as they keep paying the taxes on it, they're not going to have a whole bunch of stuff they're going to have to sell, you know, a whole bunch of clothes and shoes and crap that they're going to have to get rid of or sell, you know. I strongly believe you're supposed to spend your life having experiences, having wonderful experiences with your loved ones, um, not just accumulating a bunch of stuff. I strongly believe in experiences. Um, you're put here to enjoy this life. You can never really own anything in this life. You control it, then you pass it on. Okay, you can't take anything with you in this life that to the next world that you accumulate in this life. Anything you accumulate in this life, you cannot take it to the next life. You can only leave it to somebody else to enjoy it. Okay? So, you know, do whatever makes you happy. I'm not telling anybody to live the same lifestyle or be a minimalist or anything like that. But I just feel like, you know, especially once you reach a certain age, if you're still trying to buy Louis, Gucci, Versace, you need a 50,000, $100,000 automobile that you can have the same function as a 5, 10, even $20,000 automobile. Why do you need a 50 or $100,000 automobile? Which again, I'm not knocking it, because once I get the money, I'm probably gonna buy a yacht, which people are probably gonna say, "Oh, why you need a $500,000 yacht or $1 million yacht when you could buy a $50,000 boat?" That's just something that I want for myself. I always wanted a yacht, and I want to live on it because I know I'm gonna live on it pretty much and utilize it for a long time and rent it out and stuff like that. So I'm not knocking anybody and the stuff they have. I'm just saying, whatever you have, make sure you use it. Make sure you're utilizing it. If you're not using it, throw it away. Give it away, something like that, for somebody else to use. I remember when I downsized, I threw away and gave away so much stuff I didn't even know I had. Remember I had. Okay, so one of the best assets with somebody that has my mindset is land. Okay, is land. So once you park your money in land, you earn your money however you earn your money. Um, you can just set it and forget it. You don't have to like watch a stock market every 5 minutes, be crying, oh, I just put my $500 in a stock market or crypto market and it went down. Okay. Um, land is something you can use even if the price goes down. You can use your land, which is why I brought my lands, is because as I get older and I travel, I'm going to travel to all my different lands. Land is something you can make money on as you own it. Okay, it's only certain stocks you could make dividends on as you own it, but land you can definitely make money on as you own it. You can farm it, you can rent it out to other people that want to farm. You could rent it out to campers, all that type of stuff. Like if you watch my channel, like I live a very stress-free life, a very minimalistic life. Y'all don't see me doing a whole bunch of videos talking about how I lost money and all this type of stuff, because I can't lose money with land. If I was doing videos about stocks and stuff like that, or I'm quite sure, like I do crypto videos sometimes, I'm quite sure there'll come a time I'll probably do a video talking about, oh, I just lost X amount in crypto or whatever, right? But you'll never hear me say I lost X amount in land. Like you'll never hear me say that because I get it. You'll only hear me say, dang, um, my land price just went up again. My land value just went up again. Dang, I just got my tax bill. It was $50 last year. It's $100 this year. But that's wonderful because I mean my land value went up. Like you only, oh, I just had a couple campers come camp on my land. I made X amount of dollars. You'll always only hear me say I made money on my land. You'll never hear me talking about, dang, I had to fix a toilet and I had this tenant that destroyed my house and I had that. You'll never hear me say anything like that. You'll always hear me positive about my lands, because it's something about land you can only talk positive about it. If you have land and you're losing money on your land, that's because I don't know what your situation is, but there's no possible way to lose money on your land. No possible way. Okay, now you need somewhere to live. Again, this is a big subject. Me personally, we live minimalistically. We live virtually, mostly in small spaces, a room. We live in a cabin. Uh, we live in an RV, stuff like that. Um, you know, if you have a big family, I get that you need a big house, but I find that a lot of people have big houses and they don't have a big family. Okay, so whatever your situation is, that's your situation. But when you have a big house, you got big light bill, big water bill, big insurance bill, big maintenance bill. Okay? Trust me, I live that life. It all comes with a price. Okay? You can build the same net worth with having a land. You could buy $100,000 house and it turns into a $300,000 house. You can take the same 100,000 and buy $100,000 worth of land and it turns into $300,000 worth of land. And matter of fact, you'll have more land than you'll ever have in house. Okay? I could take $100,000 and buy about 25 acres on average. The same $100,000 will only buy me a 1,000 to 1,500 square foot stick built house. Okay? Or a brick house that needs work. Okay? I can make my money stretch way further buying land than I can ever with buying a house. All right. Again, I'm not downplaying buying a house or anything like that. You all need somewhere to live based on your situation. The way my situation is, I can live very tiny, very minimalistically, even if because I have two grown sons. Well, we have four grown offsprings altogether, me and Emma. So, we just have our one offspring, she's 6. So we don't have to have a whole lot of space for a whole lot of people. Okay? So basically what you want to do, to me, is live your life in a way where the one thing you want, you can splurge on it. Like for me, it's gonna be a yacht. For you, it might be a car, a Lamborghini or whatever, or it might be a big house, whatever. But just make sure that thing you're actually gonna be using it. Okay, you're actually gonna be using it. Everything else, invest in land. Invest in land, or again, something they cannot print, something they cannot make more of, and that one thing is land. Okay, they can even mine more gold. They can mine more gold. They can add more shares to their stocks. Okay, they can mine more diamonds, like all of that stuff. They can make more land. That's it. Matter of fact, if the sea level keep rising, we're losing land. We are losing land. I was just telling one of my students, you guys remember in California not too long ago when they had the earthquakes or the fires, maybe about 15 years ago. And I don't know if it was the people in the valley or the people um, in the mountains. Emma, you know what I'm talking about? Up north. Yeah, yeah, it was up north in California. And the people, I think in the mountains, they had to evacuate and abandon their houses. Okay, and they bought instantly overnight. They bought out or try to buy all the people down in the valley. So all the people down in the valley in the poor areas where the houses are middle class areas where the houses was 100, 2, 300,000, instantly was getting offers for 600,000, $1 million on their homes by these millionaires and super millionaires. Okay, so it's not necessarily the house, it's the location. Location means it's the land. Okay, you can build the nicest house, but if it's in a flood zone, if it's in an earthquake zone, if it's in a city like New York had an earthquake not too long ago, if it's in a place where it's prone to natural disaster, that house will be destroyed. And it's a possibility you can not go back there. They might deem that area to be just that bad to where the value just completely drop. Okay. So to me, you want to buy more, invest more of in lands than you do in houses. Okay. Now, I'm not saying not to invest in houses to rent out. If you feel that's your calling, fine. I'm not saying not to invest in duplexes, triplexes, anything like that, apartment building. I'm not saying not to do any of that stuff, but I'm just saying make sure you know what you're doing, you're able to do it, and all of that wonderful stuff. I just don't want to have the headache of dealing with a whole bunch of tenants. I have enough tenants already that calling me to fix stuff. Okay, the tenants I want is the tenants that's coming on the land, they camping, having a good time, wonderful time, and leaving. Okay, the most is maybe I have to clean up a campground, but I don't have to fix anything. Okay, or they park. I'm selling parking space, renting parking spaces. That's it. All right. Anyhow, if you guys are interested in learning more about land and buying land and have the same mindset, get in a mastermind 754-229-0940. 754-229-0940. Love you guys. Peace.